Okay, so we are live on Facebook. Hello, Facebook friends. Hey, music friends, how we doing? As if I could hear you. Okay, things look all right. Do you guys have any concerns or questions?
No cussing. Be nice.
The only other thing I should probably add to that is the license holders, the University of Dayton, a Catholic Marianist University. They ask that we don't say anything disparaging of the Catholic faith, the Roman Catholic Church, or the Marianist tradition or charism, which in 17 years of doing this radio show has never ever been a problem.
So don't pull a picture of the Pope and turn on fire.
Yeah. Facebook. I can manage that.
I watched that
if
live.
you say something here.
I remember her doing that.
He was watching.
Yeah, I was watching live.
I remember.
I was like,
wow.
No, wait. Is that the Pope? Is she ripping up a picture of the Pope? Wait, is that? My first thought, is that a problem? I kind of think that might be a problem. I think she might regret that later.
oh man.
So I'm obviously going to ask lots of dumb questions to pretend I don't know you at all.
I love those. It's okay.
So I know we had oh my gosh, you weren't there. You weren't there. They were horrible.
I
mean, it was awful. I mean,
Navie
Navie in particular. Oh my goodness. I never would have accepted climbing up on the rigging. I mean, did you have to? But
she does that.
And he only encouraged her. I didn't understand what was happening.
Yes.
So let's see. Navie, Shannon,
Brittany,
Joey. Okay. I was gonna say Joshua, so I was kind of in the ballpark. Joey. Okay. Joey, Brittany, Shannon, Navie.
You got it.
Okay. Navie, Shannon, Brittany, Joey. There's a reason why I've done that. But then, on the camera it looks like I'm really an asshole.
So do you have audio with this for Facebook too?
Oh yeah, they can hear everything that we're saying. So you were saying the passwords again.
Yeah, the first password is
Mom?
It's my mom's birthday. It's my address.
Well, that used to be all the thing. I got 30 seconds.
I'm so nervous.
A little nervous, yeah.
Don't be. It's just going to be a conversation, and it's only really important.
I think.
Right, of course. It's just the five of us.
We're just having, there's
Like
nobody
Ricky,
else.
It's
No
like
one's
Ricky
here.
Bobby, I've just got my hands up.
You prayed to little baby Jesus. Shannon Clark and the Sugar from their Marks on the Wall record with Houses. I absolutely love that song. The album is terrific. Marks on the Wall, if you don't know it, is their latest album, but they are recording new music that is very exciting. Hi there, music friend. I'm Dr. J. You're listening to your Tuesday afternoon alternative on WUDR Dayton. Rockin' the Gem City, music in all directions. Support your local music scene. I'm overjoyed because we have a bunch of fine guests. We are squeezed into the studio. We've got Joey, Brittany, Shannon, and Navie of Shannon Clark and the Sugar. Everybody, welcome.
Hey,
Hello.
we're happy to be here. It's exciting.
So, tell us all about Shannon Clark and the Sugar. So let's see, we should start with all the passwords, all of the important information, the bank codes.
Yes.
We should get all that out of the way. No, in all seriousness, tell us about the band.
So we are, I guess you would call us a Americana, kind of Midwestern Americana soul music.
Yeah.
And we're also unintentionally a family band, I guess. Intentionally and unintentionally.
Yeah.
So we're kind of all either related or related through marriage. So including Joey actually.
Yep.
So we're kind of a big family, and we like to play music, and I like wine. Those are my hobbies.
Is that
music and wine.
part of the band? That's extremely relevant. I promise.
What else can I say?
Well, that's good to know. So, I know Shannon, you and I have talked off air. You have played several different styles of music, several different genres of music. So how did you get to call it like, it's almost like psychedelic folk music in a way?
Oh, okay.
That sounds great. I like
that name. That's
That'll be a
cool.
new one.
That's way cooler than the one I had made.
Yeah.
It's yours if you want it.
Okay.
Royalty check can be relatively small. I'm flexible.
Flat 20%. I think, growing up when you're young, you kind of gravitate to what the youth is listening to. So we play, we did the rock and punk rock emo scene when we were younger, and we kind of, I think I was always kind of writing the same songs. You listen to my lyrics even when we wrote those songs, it still fit in the same wheelhouse. It's just, I think later on as I matured a little bit, I wanted to go a different direction. I like the dynamics of, singing together, and I like to tell stories, and I like the push and pull of like a really good, what would you say, Americana, all
just
country
the
band.
emotion of that too, and I think a lot of it has to do with like instrumentation. Like you've kind of gotten into this really beautiful, I use nerd in a very polite term because I like that word, but about gear and like what's like particular tunes you're using in your amp and the pickups on your guitar. So, you've really honed in on what you want to hear, for sure, or how you want yourself to sound.
Yeah, I think so. I guess we just kind of, I guess you could say, graduated to a different sound. Not that it means it's better or worse, but I connect to it better than I think I used to. My other music was about jumping around on stage and sweating it out, and
Yep.
it was one of those. It was just a scene. It was,
It's a different kind of show, for sure.
Different kind of show, for sure. Yeah.
Well, even Americana, folk, or introspective music, whatever genre, can be emotional and can still be cathartic.
Sure.
I'm curious about how you write. Having a strong family dynamic, right?
Yeah.
That it really is kind of all in the family, ha. But no, in all seriousness, that's not an inaccurate way to describe all of the performers who make the music that you guys make.
True. Yeah. I mean, I think when we create music, when I write, it's just. I usually try to write personal, like most artists. I think we all try to have something to connect. I've always felt like if you write a song and you put your heart into it, that's what's going to.
It'll be obvious.
Yeah, and I think
Yeah,
people
yeah.
accept that eventually. If someone will, if you believe in what you're doing and you really put your passion into it, somebody out there will say, "I know how he feels," or "I know how they feel," and I want to listen to that band. I want to grab hold of them. I knew the first time I ever heard a Ryan Adams record, I'd never heard of the guy, and I listened to a song, and the lyrics were just like, I was like, that's exactly what I've always wanted to say. How did he figure out how to do that? Yeah, and it's amazing when you can connect with an artist, whatever that artist is for you, it's an amazing thing.
So there's a clear narrative to a song, like you're trying to tell a story or get an idea across.
I would say most of the time I feel that way.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes, like songs like Red River on the record, they're kind of like an actual story that happened to my family. And then I have songs like Little Darling, which is about my grandparents meeting at a barn dance. And so it kind of like, it's kind of a true story. I mean, obviously it's embellished. That's the idea.
That's
as a storyteller, gotta add some juice to it.
It's gotta be interesting.
But yeah, there's stories there, and some are more in depth than others. I still like to write just songs that have good vibes and some positive energy, and maybe there's not as big of a story there. There's always something underneath. I think anytime you do something, for sure.
Well, in terms of the lyrics, I'm curious. Now, Shannon, you're the principal songwriter. Are you also the principal lyricist? Are you writing the lyrics and then taking them to Brittany and Joey and Navie?
That, so I'd say originally that was typically the case. I was the main guy who did most of the stuff. And I'd come into Brittany and I'd show her a little bit what I was doing. She might help me tweak a little bit. But this record was interesting because we had a short time to finish it. The producer had a window in his schedule open, so we only had about 6 weeks to basically write 90% of the album. So I kind of recruited Brittany and I got her out of her. She never wanted to be a songwriter. She's always like, I don't know what to say. And so we just went out to the studio. We kept working and writing. And what was really awesome is, I always knew this about her because I knew she had it in her. She's amazing. She's amazing with words, and she's amazing at seeing things in a perspective that I don't know if it's just I don't see, or maybe because I'm a guy, I look at things differently than maybe a woman would look at them. And to have that perspective on something is really important. And some of my favorite lines in some of the songs that I've written are her lines, and then Navie and I have started to also. Navie's got a knack for melodies, so we work with that. And the newer stuff we're writing now, we just went to Nashville and we wrote 2 songs like a couple weeks ago. Went down and recorded them, and we just sat around in the living room, and Joey would start playing some things he's working on, and I'd kind of start humming, and before I know, like, you know, an hour in, we're like, hey, this is something here. This is cool, and we all kind of just come up with an idea, and we all kind of work on it. So it's kind of become a thing now. It's a joint project, I think, which I like that better. I think we all can connect to something that way, and it's not just one guy. You know, I think you can easily inflate your ego too much if you're the only person.
And we all have skin in the game. We all want to.
We all have
make
skin
sure
in the
it
game.
works, right? Yeah, we gotta make sure.
So it wasn't just one person's passion. Like Brittany, you didn't go to the rest of the family and say, "We're a band now." So like I almost envisioned like a Partridge Family kind of vibe, like the mom lining up the kids. Okay, you're on bass, you're on drums.
That's such a weird, you know, actually, so this band was weird because I played in a lot of other bands, went out on a solo thing, did acoustic stuff for a while, just under my name, Shannon Clark, and did that for a while, and it was kind of phasing out. I just wasn't really, wasn't doing a lot with it, just writing at home and doing little stuff. And then a friend of mine, Dayton native named Jeff Smith, he's been in the music scene here for a long time, and he said, hey, I was thinking about, we should do something, let's do something. And he says, we should get together and make jam. So we started jamming, me, him, and Michael Locke, a guitar player, started jamming a little bit, and then we added a friend of ours named Jerry Hughes, who passed away, and he came on, and we just started doing this thing, and Brittany was playing drums, and it was just like a fun project. We were just doing a few shows here and there, doing some cover gigs, just kind of having fun, and started writing again, and then all of a sudden I was like, I love this feeling. And then I just said, we need to do something with this. And so then Navie was just, you were what, 14, 15 at the time? 15? Probably about 15. Yeah. And so she kind of came in, and we just kind of started working as a unit. And then, I don't know, it just evolved into this, like, oh, I guess we're full-time musicians again. We took a break, and they're like, oh, we should, now we're back at it. It happened by accident. Yeah. One of the best things to.
So Shannon, you and Brittany were kind of working on some music, and then Navie, you come in. What does it feel like when you're seeing your folks, your parents, you know, write songs and make music? And did they approach you? Did you approach them? How did that work for you?
You know, I feel like before they did that album, like me and Dad would always like just sing at home and play stuff on the guitar, so we kind of had this really natural bond over singing that we just did it a lot. So when it came time to record some songs and they needed some extra vocals, they kind of approached me, I guess, but I was already kind of interested, so
it was a very natural.
We've always been a musical family, and you know, Navie's always sang with us. And it's interesting. So Joey, I like to mention Joey because it's kind of I think it's a special thing. So Joey and I played together when we were both very young. So I was the very first band I ever had. Joey played in that band, and he was 16 years old, and we would go down in the basement and just, you know, have little house parties with our friends and play these songs. And we've been friends for a long time. We kind of lost touch over the years. He moved out of state to South Carolina, doing music stuff down there for a while, and then he just happened to come back like last year, and we just kind of reconnected, and I started working on some of his stuff, and he was working on some of my stuff, and then before we knew it, it was just like, this feels like this is special. So that's kind of been, so this is only, this lineup officially, it was our first record that we've released, is kind of new in a way. I mean, we've only really been in this band for about a year, and it's gone well. We've gotten to work with great producers, and we were able to get a booking contract with a really great booking agency called Smoke Show Entertainment, and out of Chicago. And so lots of really, really cool stuff happening, and it's just a very humbling experience to have people that are still interested in what we're saying, and I think that's cool. And hopefully, I mean, I think we have over 8 followers on Facebook, so they're probably watching now. Hi Mom.
Wait, is that how that works? Oh man, I'm doing it all wrong. I didn't realize that. If you're just tuning in, this is your Tuesday afternoon alternative on WUDR Dayton. We're here with Shannon Clark and the Sugar. We've got Navie, Shannon, Brittany, and Joey here in the studio. We were talking about Red River. I was saying earlier my favorite song was Houses, and now I realize that's not true because I put a bunch of these songs in here that I like. But Red River, anything you want to say about that before we play it?
That's a good one.
Well, so it's based on a true story. I had a family, a great-great-grandfather who was a moonshiner, and he moonshined with his son, so my great-grandfather. And they had a still, and it was right during Prohibition, and they got raided by the FBI. True story. And my great-great-grandfather convinced his son to take the rap because he was older, didn't want to go to jail, so he went to prison for almost 2 years in penitentiary in Savannah, Georgia. And so kind of left, during the Depression, left his family of like 5 kids to fend for himself because he was gone, and the great-grandfather basically kind of abandoned him because, well, there's a part of the story I can't really say on air, so we'll leave it at that.
Well, I look forward to that part off air.
Yeah. I forgot
Don't
about
go
that.
too
So I'm
far.
like, oh yeah.
You guys are a good interview.
I was like,
Oh, I forgot. So I'm off, right?
So I'm sorry. Yeah, we're off.
Okay.
Yeah, we're off.
So, and this is not to knock anybody, but
But you are on Facebook, and there's a video being. I can turn everything off
No, it's
because
not
I'm
like
curious.
It's not bad. It happens to like involve a preacher, and they happen to be a certain religion. I won't say what religion it was.
Oh yeah, there you go.
So when that happened, he was great-great-grandfather was too afraid of losing his position in the church, so
Oh
he
sure.
disowned the family because the church said that he couldn't have ties with them. And so that basically is what started it. And now the song's a little different. The song takes a different turn.
I think it's what you wanted to happen.
It's kind of like, we're blaming the preacher instead of the father.
Yeah,
and there's,
yeah.
A little bit of stuff. It wasn't actually the preacher's fault, but it was the position in the church that caused him to like, well, I can't help you. So he lost my great-grandfather, who was in jail for 2 years, he lost his farm. He lost 2 of his kids went into social service because the mom couldn't feed them.
Right.
And this whole time, the guy that talked him into going to prison, because it was his still. He's living fine on the hog, and So when it came out, they had a rough life. I think they eventually got the kids back, and but then he died a few years later. It's a really tragic story. But my friend and I were writing a script for that movie called Red River. And,
Sounds like it would make a heck of a movie.
yeah, we started writing the script. We pitched it to a few.
I'd go see that movie.
It's got a lot of just interesting little
Yeah.
things, and you're like, wow, I can't believe that happened in our family. Like we had somebody, moonshine. It just seems like such a weird thing to arrest someone for moonshine. That's still a thing. I mean, you still.
Well, I'd have to imagine, especially the era I think you're talking about, that wouldn't have been the only still.
No, yeah, no, no.
And I'm not sure what.
They're just the ones who probably
Got caught.
got caught or didn't pay off someone so they didn't get caught.
Right.
As was pretty common. I mean, and I still think there's a couple of great movie ideas in that whole, how that leads to NASCAR and things like that. How people would soup up, kind of supercharge their cars so they could outrun law enforcement.
Yeah.
Is sort of the early origins of NASCAR, which to me,
That's
okay, no disrespect, friends. Okay, I'm not a huge NASCAR
It fits
person.
well with the
but I
demographic.
Yeah, I love that whole idea of that's where people learn how to supercharge up cars and things like that. As a boy who grew up in Minnesota, there wasn't a whole lot of.
We're from Minnesota.
Yeah, I lost the accent a long time ago.
Come on, do one for this.
Oh, you go back, get the boat, and we'll go out fishing, and it's behind the garage. Let's go get it. So I talk to people back home, and they're like, "You sound weird." Okay, sure. Do you mind if I snap a few photos with the phone? Pretend you like each other. It's gonna be so hard. It's gonna be so hard. Oh, wait. What did Brittany say about Navie? Wait, or was that Navie saying about Shannon? Oh, I'm so confused. And then
You're out there by yourself.
I'm gonna do this though.
Yeah. I can see.
Just like I'm not here. There you go. There it is. Okay, so now you can look up. Awesome. Thank you. I don't know about you, but I'm always having to avoid like the face. I think I'm sorry. My face feels weird. What am I doing?
These make me look less tired. See, it's like I haven't slept in 2 days. We had the studio.
Well, if you're, and I'll let it do too, if you don't mind.
Sure.
If you're recording down in Nashville, we're trying to get as much out of the experience, out of the time as you
We
can.
definitely pushed a bunch in.
We got in Sunday, ate some dinner with some friends, and we went right to the studio to drop off some gear, and then we had a pre-production meeting with the producer at our Airbnb, so we did that. So it was like 10 And we've been up, we've been driving all day.
Yeah. So you're already tired.
Yeah, a little.
And then it was like we picked an Airbnb that happened to be like at apparently the most noisiest spot in Nashville.
It's possible.
So like at 4 o'clock in the morning, there's like Rumpke guys dropping the like dumpster
Oh,
right next to
yeah.
the and I'm like waking up thinking the end of the world's coming. But
It was like 4 in the morning and it was really loud, so yeah, it was
so I didn't
scary.
sleep at all, and then it was like we had this time crunch. We had this goal to get 3 songs, and that's a lot in a day.
I'm pretty sure that was his
Oh,
goal, right?
yeah.
I was like, I'm gonna get it.
That's
anyway.
ambitious. Then 3 in a single day. That's ambitious.
It was a little much. So we felt it like about after first one went really smooth, and the second one right in midday lunch. There's a lot of big vocal parts in it, like that are just hard after you've been singing all day. And it was definitely like it was one of those. Yeah, like we hit the wall about 2:30, and I was like, ugh.
Nap time kind of thing.
And then it came back around. The last song was a new one that I really just, it's like one of my favorite songs I've ever written, and it's a really personal song. And it came out really good. I'm excited to see what's going to happen. We won't get the stuff back for a month or 6 weeks because the guy who's going to mix it and master it's a little behind right now. But super, super excited about it. And we basically tracked it with us and the producer, and then we brought in a bass player named Chris Autry. He's a kind of a well-known country bass player from down there, so good dude.
Well, I'll probably ask you to give us all your social media. What's the website? What kind of social media do you use? What do we feel? Are we up for a song?
Yeah. Which one do you want to do?
Oh, I say that's your choice.
He's playing for too.
We can do Thistle. It's not on the album. It's new.
There you go.
I can't decide. It's got those big vocals.
As long as
Well,
you're
I'll
comfortable
let you
with it,
just
and as I mentioned earlier, not wanting to sing is a perfectly acceptable answer. I've had people come in and say, I was in the studio all night, my voice is blown, I took a nap before coming here. I'm like, well, why don't we just chat?
It's weird. So I feel like in a studio setting like this, it's really hard to get like a good sound. It's good to get
I've
vocal.
been pleasantly surprised
Have
at
you?
how decent things
Okay.
sound.
You're saying it was just me every time I've had it.
There's
You just suck.
I would say, for the singing, you probably want to be a little closer to the mics than you are
Is
when
this
you're
one of those
talking.
things where I should have these so I know I'm not going to?
Well, and let me worry about it. You can wear them if that makes you feel comfortable,
No, I
and so
like
you
this.
can hear what's going through. But it's just a turn. But you can right, yeah.
And this just comes up if you want
Yep.
Oh, okay, perfect.
It's less.
I'm
My
always.
mom was a radio disc jockey for
Oh, really?
25 years, yeah.
In Dayton too, yeah.
At Dayton, K99, TUE.
So
I grew
this
up-
was WVUD long ago. It was fairly popular in the 70s. They bought a second frequency. 99% of our listeners are online.
Very cool.
But I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
When they tell me, hey, you broke the machinery because you had too many people listening, I'm like, what is that? What is that? Oh, that's about 4,000 or 5,000. I'm like, what?
Wow.
Okay, we good? Anybody need anything? Here we go. Mics are hot.
We'll try it.
Little Darlin' from Shannon Clark and the Sugar here on your Tuesday afternoon alternative on WUDR Dayton. Rockin' the Gem City, music in all directions, so they tell me. Support your local music scene. And we are living up to at least one part of those mottos. We have Shannon Clark and the Sugar here in the studio. If somebody wanted to reach out to you guys, what's your social media?
Well, you can reach us at Instagram at SC Sugar Music. Also, same as our Twitter handle, SC Sugar Music. You can go to Facebook, and I think it's something like that. I don't know. Just type in, if you have ever heard of Google, just type in Shannon Clark and the Sugar. You can go to YouTube, and we use it all. I don't have Snapchat. I did start a TikTok. It's horrible. Don't even go there. But I'm just like, I'm obviously, I feel like I'm a little too old to understand how that works. But I've made one. I made my attempt. I mean, I have a couple hundred people that follow me. They're all from Alaska, but it's pretty exciting. I'm joking. I don't know.
Oh, I was going to say, that's really cool, though.
It's like just one town, Alaska. It's like, I love this guy. He's awesome.
A couple hundred people in Nome. Wait, what is it about our music? Okay, that's what I would be thinking.
You
What
know,
is it about? No.
We have our manager keeps telling us to push bands in town is important because that's a really cool platform for people who like live shows. So when we're touring or out, so go to bands in town and check us out. And anytime we're around your area, it's a good way to connect with us. And it's not like an algorithm thing. I think as long as you're signed up on there, like you're going to know when we're coming, and that's kind of a good way to keep, plus ShannonClarkSugar.com if you want to do that. We have t-shirts. Can I say that on here?
You can absolutely say that you have merchandise. Please.
They're
Please.
expensive.
Well, I don't know. Everything feels expensive to me these days, so I don't know how to
That's true.
judge that. But if you have t-shirts and hats and merchandise or stickers, you notice we have put a few things up on the walls
I love
ourselves,
it.
right?
Yes.
A
What
radio-
about you a poster of Had I Known?
Radio should be messy.
I agree.
Yes.
I agree.
It should be.
At least that's the argument I make, At least if WKRP in Cincinnati taught me anything as a small
I
child,
remember that show. That's crazy.
you should have posters on the walls.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I think after some serious arm twisting, I think Brittany was clearly the person that I had to convince. I'm kidding. You guys are willing to sing a song for us live. What do you got for us?
Well, we just went and tracked this at the studio. It's actually was on we recorded it with our last record, but it didn't make the cut. So we went and revamped it a little bit, and really love it. It's a song called Thistle, and it's kind of to bring spotlight about, you can kind of use your own thought process, but it's sexual abuse and things, just kind of to bring a light on that. Just had had family members and people in our lives that have went through some really hard things, and I wanted to just write a song that kind of gave a little life to that and talk a little bit about that. So yeah, we'll do our best to try to make this sound pleasant for your ears. There's a thistle by the roadside. It's purple and rare. It's something you look at, but not something you dare. Put your hands on, you're liable to bleed. Something you look at, but not something you see. Yeah, she's rough and she's lonesome like an old Georgia pines. Had her a cowboy and couldn't keep him alive. She's a thistle by the roadside I just can't leave behind. Took a while for her to notice. Damn near 45. The others are taken, she paid the price. You tipped the chair far enough back, you're liable to fall. I wanted to fix her, but that be her call. Yeah, she's rough and she's lonesome like an old Georgia pines. Had her a cowboy and couldn't keep him in line. She's a thistle by the roadside I just can't leave behind. innocence was stolen. Now our horses are free. The dirtiest wish she's calm now. Swear with this old breeze. I guess that she had one more ace up her sleeve. Yeah, she's rough and she's lonesome like an old Georgia pine. Had her a cowboy and couldn't keep him alive. I begged her to love me, but those stars don't align. I can't get her out of my mind, out of my mind, out of my mind, out of my mind, out of my mind. She's a thistle by the roadside I just can't leave behind.
Oh, that's just lovely. Even if the subject matter is heavy.
Well, it can be whatever you want to be.
Well, and is that something that you think about as you guys are working on songs, that even if the subject is deep or difficult, that you want to give it a lilt or make it lovely through a nice melody or something like that?
You write, sometimes you write what comes. I try not to worry about, how people are going to perceive this if it's too, because some of my favorite songs are super dark and depressing. Now I will say, I have to be in the mood to listen to those songs. Like I love the song Elephant by Jason Isbell. It's such a beautiful song, but it's super hard. It ruins my whole day if I listen to it. Now but when I'm in the mood to listen to it, I'll listen to it 10 times. But if it's on the record, I'm like, skip, because I'm like, I don't want to ruin my day, I'll be crying. But, I think those songs, when you find that song that really connects to you, I feel like it's hard to, I wouldn't want to change that, I like the connection. I think it's, I don't know. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Definitely.
I said nothing. I'm running for office.
Well, I wouldn't say you're running for office, but I would say that I totally understand that idea that a certain feeling or a certain song can change your whole outlook for the day. Maybe you want to go there, but maybe there are times when you don't.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
I
What do
agree
you
with
think?
that. No, I think you're right.
You're smart. You said something smart.
Yeah.
She's a smart one.
Well, I'm curious if you guys come from the same kind of well. Right, Navie, there's a little age difference between you and the folks, so I'm curious, do you listen to completely different music than they listen to, or do you guys all have similar interests in common?
I think a little bit of both. I think the core interests of my music are kind of the same as theirs, just because I grew up around it, But there's always different branches of music.
And
that
we
I
have
like.
good taste in music too.
That's true.
We're pretty cool.
So we say, yeah.
Well, I'm sorry, that was just assumed. I didn't think I had to say that out loud, but if we need to.
Well, I do think she does have some interest that I don't really I gotta be honest, she has more musical knowledge than I do. She's pretty amazing. She knows things about music because she's just been around it. And
Wider, yeah.
I never had that as much encouragement as a kid in a way. My mom was a DJ, so I was always around music, but it was always top 40 music.
Mhm,
It wasn't
mhm.
like the underground stuff where, what's some of the bands you got, I know you like the Replacements and you like the
Yeah.
Smiths and,
Yeah, all that stuff is great. I love you guys listen to Bryan Adams a lot. I love Bryan Adams, but I love.
he shared your
Smiths,
poster
too.
once.
He
True
did.
story.
Ooh.
Thank you.
Well, I can can see the tensions already building in the band as Navie goes solo and goes out on tour. But let's give you guys a chance to catch your breath a little bit. I'm going to play Last Morning. Anything you want to say about Last Morning?
I wrote it kind of as like a endearing love song, eternal love, and I like that song. The song that what you're going to hear is the first take off. We recorded that song twice in the studio, live, no overdubs, and the first take is not perfect. Actually, you can hear a guitar mistake on my part. I'm a little off time on my E string on a part.
It's the emotion,
But the performance was better on the first take, and the producer was like, no. And I'm like, yeah, but there's mistakes. No, that's the one we're doing. He refused. The second take we did was perfect in every way. Yeah. He's like, no, it didn't have the energy, didn't have the feeling. So he made me put this on the record, and I'm just like, okay, well, he won Grammys, so I let him do what he wants. Whatever.
He probably knows a thing or two.
He knows stuff, I don't know.
Awesome, you guys are great. That truly was lovely.
Okay.
Forgive me if I look distracted. One of my bulbs just burned out literally as I pushed the button. I'm like, did I just break the board?
So I accidentally said damn, is that going to get us?
Oh yeah. You'll get a big fine. Nothing, absolutely nothing. It's like the George Carlin, thing. Damn, or like you could even say hell. You just can't damn someone to hell. Okay, I know. I find that hilarious as well. Like, wait, what? Wouldn't the other one be more disturbing? But okay, never mind.
Well, damn
rules.
can also be a thing.
Exactly.
Right.
No, you're totally fine.
As I was saying, I was like, why don't I?
Dang, darn it.
I don't know what to say in place of it.
Oh no, my favorite is to go Christmas Story. Dang nabbit, blah. or you could go like, what is it? Elf, son of a nutcracker. I do things like that all the time, and people are like, what? Oh, the movie. Not that people have been given any reason to worry about me, but this is just lovely. Really, I didn't even. I usually catch tuning things or a note off. I've listened to this song several times and I didn't hear it.
It's just when I'm going ding, 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 instead of being on the 4.
Yeah.
Early on one. It's not like a huge mistake, but
I'm a huge Replacements fan.
Oh,
I mean,
like top
mistakes.
That's nothing. It's
put
alright.
them in. Good.
What is it? Playing makeup, wearing guitar. Seriously, what is it? Left of the Dial or Little Mascara?
Those are all, I have
yeah.
one. That's a great idea.
Oh, there. Okay. I come from Minnesota, so I'm contractually obligated to love them. But
Right.
gosh, shows like that, seeing bands like them, and Westerberg turned out to be a bit of a jerk, but not. No, I just said that publicly. But just as a brilliant band.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I saw them more times than I probably should admit to.
Oh, that's so cool, man. I'm so jealous.
Oh, just a great
When's the last time they
experience.
did a show?
Well, I saw them for their last official show that included Slim Dunlap, Taste of Chicago in Chicago. Why did I pause on that? Well, that should have been easy. But then they had that reunion thing. Where did I see that? I want to say Chicago again, but that's not right. Detroit or something? But that was a few years ago, and it wasn't quite the same. The band was way too polished for my taste.
Yeah.
It was still fun. It was still great, but it wasn't the
that,
same
yeah.
spirit.
Right. Part of it, what you love about it is the mistakes and the.
You never knew what you're
gravelly
going to
vocals
get.
and- Yeah. it's different.
And I saw Westerberg probably like a dozen times on his first solo tour
Right,
for, what was the name of that record? Whatever,
I
that
can see the
first one
cover
was.
in my head.
Yeah, seriously,
The
right?
name.
He's got the suit on. It's not 14 songs? Maybe it's 14 songs? Oh,
Might be.
I don't know. I'm not sure about that. But and then I remember a couple of times where he literally just, his back went out and he was playing, laying on the stage, and then they're like, he can't get up, the show's over, and people thought it was all part of like the Replacement spirit. No, the dude literally threw his back out and couldn't get up.
Oh, that's awful.
Yeah, I
carry
felt
it out like in front of everybody.
kind Kind of.
Wow. That's rough.
That's
Yeah.
So we'll jump into wait till spring, so that we've done at least 4. Give you a couple pennies.
yeah.
We pay royalties. They're just really crappy royalties.
I mean, I think that's with anything in music anymore. Man.
Hey, it's
I
still
mean, that's
something,
seriously,
maybe
right?
worse than Spotify. I'm sure it's.
It's a challenge. Nice on me, Andy.
Oh, that was so cool. Because both those songs are in G, so that sounded like it was meant to be.
Oh, what? It wasn't meant to be? Because it sounds perfect to my ear.
Well, yeah, because on the record that Wait Till Spring's number 3, so that would have been. But that sounded great.
Did that trend that? Oh, I must have thought about this. This
Because the last
the
chord
one I
was G,
did. I
and the
did
first
move
thing
one,
is-
so I'm not so sure how much thought I gave this, but I did have
Just
a certain
take the
order.
credit.
Yeah.
Like I had a master plan for weeks.
Well, oh, you would literally, if this thing were on and I had a good transition, I would jump up and down and I would dance. I'd be so happy. Oh, that worked out even better than the way I planned. Or every time I hit the post, it's like.
No, I think before
And I am contractually obligated to see my wife. I am not to dance on
I
camera.
can see it.
even before I think
Right? It's not a hard leap.
I don't know how you end up. Because I remember you had us on the Dayton
Dayton
TV
music
thing.
scene. Yeah.
But-
You guys were awesome, by
But
the way.
before that though, you because I was thinking about this because I remember the Tuesday Morning Alternative.
Mm-hmm.
I remember I'm on your emailing list, and I remember I was googling
I'm
something.
so sorry.
I was googling something one day, and I was looking, and a bunch of stuff popped up with our name on it. I was trying to find an article that someone had written, and I couldn't find it. I was looking through, all of a sudden I saw that name.
Yeah.
And I was like, what is this? And I was like, so I click on it, and it's like you
Oh, I'm
had
so
either
sorry.
played something or written something, did something on there. And I was like, I didn't even know who it was at the time. I was like, who's this? This is before I subscribed to your email.
Yeah, good question.
And I don't even
used
know
to
how
write
you.
a lot of reviews. And
I don't know how you ever
reviews.
even. I don't even how you knew about us at that point. I don't even know how you came in contact.
I have serious FOMO when it comes to music.
Okay.
So I am scouring for things. And when people tell me, hey, here's a band to check out, I do that religiously.
Okay.
I want to say to someone like Harold Hensley or someone. Oh, please feel free to correct me, Facebook. Seriously.
I know Lowell Wagner was.
Yeah, oh God, Kathy and Lowell talked you guys up. And this, before everything went dark, right, with the pandemic, there were talks where could I come in as a host for Dayton Music Scene.
Okay.
And I was doing a couple things. I was writing reviews for Off Shelf, our own blog, a couple of other things, trying to convince other DJs that we should all share information between us.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Friends of mine are like in Minnesota for The Current and stuff like that, which is a trendsetter station, right? People look to them for who they should program. So if I can convince them to play some Minnesota, or sorry, I said that wrong, some Dayton music in Minnesota, that could be a good thing. So I definitely push that. So I was writing a lot of crap, and I was just trying to get the word out there. But I forget, this is going back a ways. Somebody mentioned, before Mark's on the wall, sorry, before the album, someone had talked you guys up, and I know I started doing some digging. And I'm
Wow,
like,
that's like-
this is right in my wheelhouse. Harmonies, check. Family harmonies, give me the Everly harmonies every day, right?
That's why
There's
I always-
something beautiful about family harmony.
There really is.
I can't quantify it, but it's there.
It's something. It's really interesting. Oh, you gotta get her here,
Right?
Okay.
So are we? That's a good thing to talk about.
Yeah, let's do it.
Mics are hot.
Here's my phone.
Just leave it.
Oh yeah, Shannon Clark and the Sugar here on your Tuesday afternoon alternative. Just absolutely amazing. Just terrific stuff. Wait till spring from their Marks on the Wall record. Before that, you heard Last Morning. We've also played Little Darlin' and Red River here today. Those family harmonies, we were talking off air, right? I like it. You cut to the chase, Navie. It's blood, right? There's something really beautiful that comes through. Do you guys feel it when you sing?
Absolutely. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
definitely there.
For sure. I mean,
And what does it feel like, right? As someone who can't sing, let me live vicariously through you, right?
well, I mean, I've played in bands where other people sang, and we all sang together, and it was kind of nice. But there is something there. I mean, like, it's almost like because we're cut from the same cloth. Like, if I'm going, like, we do this live a lot. I'll improv vocals sometimes because I get excited and I'd start going off of what we're supposed to do. And she just kind of knows, like, okay, Dad's doing that thing, and she usually hangs right with me. And I think the same thing with Joey. You know, Joey and I have been playing so long that we kind of like, I think like it's weird because you know we've been playing since we were kids, and so it's also there. And his dad is also a musician, and so we've sang together for 20 years. So it's like all that just kind of it all helps. It all blends, and we know each other very well. And so I don't know. You say that's about right?
You know, yeah, I think it is. I think it could take people years to find someone that like their vocals sound good with. You know, not everyone that sings sounds good
Not all
together
harmonies are created
necessarily.
equal,
Right, yeah.
unfortunately.
I've always felt very lucky to found.
Like the Civil Wars was one of
So
those
young.
bands. Like,
Yeah.
they were just like, oh my gosh,
They
the
were meant to
harmonies were
sing
so
together.
good. They were like meant to sing together. So,
Yeah.
Yeah, even if they weren't meant to be friends.
yeah, they
Right,
don't like each other.
Maybe not so bad.
Woo!
Yeah.
That feels like Simon and Garfunkel level animosity,
Yeah.
right? I can't even be in the same state with this guy. It's like,
I still feel like, that whole thing was weird because it was like, it seemed like, and they're like, no, we're not together. And I'm like, yeah, but you're fighting like a couple.
yeah,
Like,
right.
I'm just saying, like, who knows? Who knows what really happened?
Oh, but they had a real gift with singing and blending their voices
yeah.
together, the way they could lilt around one another. And I think you have that as well, right? It's not just that you're Navie singing a note that matches, you know, what your
Right.
dad Shannon is doing, but you're able to work around, kind of wrap around it. And then Joey comes in. I watched you when we recorded Dayton Music Scene, and I literally watch you pull your head back or move your head in so you can be just the right volume.
I think that's
Oh,
that's just his dance moves.
That's all it is.
But it looks practiced. It looks like you're giving thought to, okay, I'm just weaving the right amount. You know what I mean?
Yeah, trying to dynamically, you know, make sure things are right. I guess I've gotten in a habit of doing that, but it's also I like to pull back and just kind of listen to them sometimes because they sound so good together. That was one of the
I can
things
see
that yeah was so special to me when I first started playing with them. Was, you know, made me want to be a part of it. Was just the harmony. You know, that how good these guys sound together.
I'm gonna cry.
Well, if you cry, then I'm gonna cry, and then
We're all gonna be crying.
yeah, it's gonna be ugly. We don't want it. We don't want it. Can you believe we've killed an hour?
Really?
It's dead.
I
It's
was-
gone.
I was 5 minutes late.
It didn't matter. I am just overjoyed to get you guys here in the studio to chat. Can I convince you to come back sometime?
Oh, anytime,
Absolutely.
man.
For sure.
We haven't even talked about influences.
Oh man,
Yeah.
there's a
Like-
lot to
It's
talk
my
about.
favorite part to talk about.
Yeah, the first guitar or the
Oh.
first set of drums. So there's so much more we got to cover. Maybe I'll just have to clear my evening. You guys are good for another 6-7 hours, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Ready.
Can you just sing something and play something so that we play out?
Sure.
Is that okay to ask?
Yeah,
Sure.
let's do it.
So you're listening to your Tuesday afternoon alternative on WUDR. We'll be back next week with a brand new program. Thank you so much for listening.
1,000 times.
Keeping me on my toes.
Turn the lights down low, like we used to do on that front porch. But you don't call this place home anymore. It's me and this old guitar, all alone. And the sound of a slamming door. It takes more from you than it deserves. like 1,000 swords. Cut you down, down. Maybe we were meant to share this house. But how can you forget my name after you said it 1,000 times and 1,000 times again? It's like we never met. Just a passing conversation. Is that good? It's a clip.
That's perfect. That is better than good. Shannon Clark and the Sugar, Navie, Shannon, Brittany, Joey, thank you all so much for coming in today.
Thank you for
Thank
what
you.
thank you for what you do for the local music scene. We really appreciate it.
Don't catch that check, it's gonna bounce. It's gonna bounce. Thank you for coming in. And we're clear.
So I felt like my brain was like.
Oh, that was perfect for you to say that at the end. Like I've got the little video going. It's like, that's awesome. Because people will say things like, "Oh, it must really bother you when you get like a phone call when you're on air," and I'm like, "No, that shows people that it's real, right? I'm not faking anything." Hey, those of you who say I'm faking, by now it should be really clear that there's nothing fake here. Thank you all so much. Thank you, Facebook friends.
Bye,
Thank you,
guys.
music friends. This is the part at the end where everybody goes, "Whoa!"
Oh, that's awesome.
Thank you
much
so
fun.
much.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah, that was great. Always like so afraid we were gonna miss this because we were like traffic was bad.
Yeah.
I got up at 6:30 to be here. So I was like, well, I can't let Art down. I gotta be
Oh,
back.
we could always have rescheduled.
No, it makes us feel cool though because like come from a session right into
Okay, yeah, that is
you
true.
know, it makes us feel cool.
Big day.
We gotta have
Well,
it.
first of all, you are cool. Wow, this guy has